On tonight's 2-1 win.
How about that? Excuse me. Certainly, I'm pleased for the group. That was a little bit of a wild one, too chaotic for my liking in how the game looked, and a lot of moving parts with our personnel. But that shows, I think, what this group is potentially capable of with coming off the field with a win. That was a challenging game. Credit to BJ, to Nashville. They were strong tonight, and if not for Roman and Evander, this is a different result. I think those two won us the game tonight, and while certainly everybody else put in a good shift, it was, I think, those two performances that allow us to feel the way we do.
We'll start with questions in Carter.
Coach, congratulations. How important was it to get a road victory and to do it in the way you did, even with it being so chaotic?
I think the timing of it is important. We've not been at our best. I think we all know that, and have to not accept it, but acknowledge it, and know there's a lot more in this group. But while you're trying to figure things out, being able to still experience the joy of a good result is important, and I think our group needed it. And hopefully we can build off of the result, and we know we have a lot to work on as far as the performance. So I think it's comes at a good time.
You mentioned Roman and Evander. I guess I'll start with Roman. What did you make of his performance in general and the moments he had to keep following that?
Yeah, for me it's pretty simple. You don't want your goalkeeper losing you games because of mistakes, and that's something Roman's been very consistent with, is keeping us in games when we need him to. And tonight, from the penalty save to immediately after, that double save he makes is as good as I've seen. And that 5-minute stretch kept us in the game in a way where we could still have a chance. And it's not to say we couldn't, we'd be down a goal, but I think in the energy in that moment that it brought the group, and maybe a little bit of a wake up was certainly timely. So he was a star performer tonight.
And then Evander has the free kick to level it in the first half. Could you share what your perspective on the free kick was and what you thought of it as you saw it happen?
Well, now every time he steps up in that moment, you're expecting the ball to go in the net, to go in the goal, and that's pretty wild considering where he's taking it from, and going back to the Charlotte game where he hits that free kick and how close he is. It's he's a threat. He's a real threat in all of these moments, with direct free kicks, with the wide free kicks, corners. All of it is now somebody standing over the ball that you think he can get the ball where it needs to go and help us to score goals. And he also is the difference maker in our second goal, because the delivery of that pass is perfect for Corey, who makes a really well-timed run.
I'm going to ask about the last kind of 10 minutes, especially after Miles gets subbed out. What was the approach you took, the conversations you had with the guys about what the strategy would look like to see this game out and ultimately get the victory, but to do it without a guy like Miles on the field?
It was challenging because of the way we needed to make changes, with Obi. Sergio had certainly hit a wall. He put in a good shift, but we had an idea of what it could look like at the end of the game, but this was a little bit different, and partly because of how we, adjusted our press, and then partly because of, Miles coming off, as well as DeAndre. DeAndre was very close to not playing tonight, and I give him a lot of credit because leading up to the game, he was not 100%, and you could tell he was fatigued at times and trying to manage the game in a good way, where he wasn't caught out in transition, and he simplified some of the things he was doing with the ball. But having to take both of them off the field at the same time, it was then Corey and Alvis was the the guys that we thought positionally could be on the field to help us in and out of possession to close it out, and that looked a little bit different with how we were pressing, and then when we had the ball, how we thought we could find space to attack.
We'll go to the Zoom now, and Laurel, you can go ahead.
Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
With your halftime change with Kevin coming in and Nick coming off, was that pre-planned or was that based on what you were seeing in the game? Anything with Nick? What can you kind of just elaborate on that a little bit?
It was not pre-planned. Kevin coming off of our busy stretch leading up to the international break, 2 games, the travel, it just felt like a risk to start him. And, we kind of took that out of his hands with, wanting to bring him off the bench. And he was ready to go. I can tell you that. He knows how to take care of himself. But the last month plus for him has been a lot. And, he took that very professionally and came in and made a difference, obviously, with converting on the penalty, but also some of the other things that he did for us. With Nick, I think it was the way the game was playing out, and how they were, playing into the channels. It was physically demanding for him. I think he probably could have kept going, getting that second win, but I thought that was a good time to make the switch. And then, put Kevin up there with Sergio. When we changed our press, that allowed Luka to deal with, Lovitz, and then we were going to have Sergio deal with Bauer. So, I think the guys did a good job.
And it seemed like you guys were attacking the box more today. I know that was something that you emphasized that you wanted to try to do.
Yeah.
Were you pleased with how that looked tonight?
In some ways, yes. I think in moments of our, last couple games specifically, we weren't running hard enough in front of goal, and too many guys wanted, the ball, to be played to their feet, to be played in front of defenders. We didn't have enough guys either willing to run in front of goal, sacrificing themselves for opening up their teammates, and so we covered that in the lead up to the game, and I think that got better. But it's not about doing it in a reckless way. We have to be calculated in the timing, the positions, and what's needed to help us create. And, I think there were certain moments where you saw it with Luka's run early on, with Kevin's run late. Those were more calculated, well-timed runs that even if they were to break down, I think our structure allowed us to be able to deal with some transition moments, which is important, because you can't just have guys all run into goal with no real thought about what it looks like if the play breaks down. So I was pleased with the improvements.
Can I ask one more?
Yeah, keep going. Yep.
Okay. Any update on Obi? Seemed like
No.
he came off.
No, we don't know with Obi. He had some tightness, and felt maybe it was a risk to keep going. So hopefully we'll know. We'll know more, I imagine, on Monday.
Thank you.
Pat,
All right.
thank you.
Thank you.